Why isn't my partner saying I love you more? Here are 7 truths you are missing about this. If you've been feeling a little extra anxious lately because your partner doesn't say I love you the way he used to, or not as often anymore, or maybe he says love you instead of I love you, or he just sends you a heart emoji or just a thumbs up, and suddenly your whole entire body goes into wait, what does this even mean? He doesn't love me anymore? If you have an anxious attachment style, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You might be rereading text, zooming into the tone of every sentence, feeling the emotional temperature shift with just one emoji, or getting stuck in thoughts like, is he pulling away from me? Did he ever love me? Has anything changed between us? Is something wrong? Is he truly loving me? Then this episode is for you. If you're hypervigilant to the specific words he uses, and when the reassurance looks different than your brain has expected it, this message is exactly for you. Save this episode for later. Come back to it anytime when your fear gets louder than the actual reality of things. Because here's the truth, there might be nothing wrong with your relationship or with your partner, with him or her or them, and especially nothing wrong with you. Most likely, you're with someone who deeply loves you but shows it in a little bit of a different way. Maybe he's a different love language than you. So take a deep breath with me. By the way, if you're new here, I'm Yula, or welcome back. I am the Anxious to Secure coach, and welcome to the Anxious to Secure podcast. Disclaimer, I'm not a therapist or a doctor. This content is for informational and entertainment purposes only. It's not intended to diagnose, treat, or heal any mental health condition. If you're in an abusive relationship or dealing with severe mental health challenges, always seek professional advice. So your fear of what if he doesn't love me anymore? Let's talk about this. Come closer, sit down, grab your favorite cup of coffee or tea and snuggle up in your biggest blanket you can find. A heated blanket. I know if you're listening from England, it's going to be freezing. Ramp up the heat in your apartment. Don't save on the most important things, your warmth and your safety, and listen to this. This fear you've been carrying, this fear that if he doesn't say it in this specific way, maybe he doesn't feel it. It feels like something bad is coming. So let me break this down for you, just as like a friend sitting next to you on the couch. So the first thing I want you to understand is this fear is not about your partner, because most clients I coach have an anxious attachment style, are attracted to a good partner who's probably avoidant, but who's not that avoidant, not that toxic that we often paint the picture. They're more avoiding a part of themselves, like the emotions that bring up inside of them when we show up in a certain way. This is not about you, it's about them. And we are often attracting good people who also have a lot of unhealed wounds within themselves and struggled with their own childhood insecurities and wounds and traumas and all of this. So this is your old wound whispering here, like, if I'm not loved in the exact way I need, maybe I will lose them. Your nervous system has learned a long time ago that love means these specific words, right? Love means words. Like love is reassurance, love is being told I choose you, love is hearing you matter. And that's not wrong. That's not being needy, that's just human. And especially as women, especially as anxious attached women, we love to hear that our love is being affirmed in this specific way. That's your love language. It's how your body feels safe. But your brain takes his silence and turns it into a story. Like, he stops saying it. Maybe he's pulling away. Maybe he's bored of me. Maybe love has changed. Maybe he was never really in love with me. And this is not about interactions. This is about your nervous system trying to protect you from loss, from rejection, from hurt. So the second thing is, words are not the only proof of love, but your anxious attachment tells you they are. So your system searches for verbal evidence. It doesn't notice the other ways he is loving you right now, like what his love might actually look like. And please don't get anxious and insecure now, only focus on the ways he doesn't love you. If this list doesn't match with your relationship, focus on the ways he does care and love you. This is important because our brain only filters out on the negatives and not of actually what is true. Just a little side note. So maybe he makes sure you get home safely. Maybe he fixes things around the house without even mentioning it. Maybe he cooks dinner when he sees you're drained and makes your favorite dinner. Maybe he offers to drive when you're tired. Maybe he touches your bag when he walks past. Maybe he makes your coffee even when he simply wants to sit down and he's tired. Maybe he listens when you talk about your day, even when he doesn't respond, and even when he doesn't nod, and even if he doesn't ask many questions. Maybe he stays even when things feel really hard. Maybe he chooses you daily in small, tiny ways you don't notice right now. Maybe he just mansplains things for you because this is his way of showing his way of he cares and he likes you and he just wants to show and impress you. Maybe he sends you little funny memes over WhatsApp instead of sending you long verbal paragraphs the way how he loves you. Maybe he sends you practical information instead of romantic paragraphs as well, because that's how he shows up. Maybe he buys the snack you love without saying anything else about it. Or maybe he sits next to you on the couch instead of across the room. Maybe he tells you, text me when you get there instead of I love you so much, I'll miss you. And maybe he holds your hand when you walk down the road instead of just grabbing you and kiss you like he's madly in love with you. Maybe he leans into you when he sleeps, even when he doesn't say sweet things before bed. Maybe he's waiting up to fall asleep with you, and even if he doesn't roll over and hug you and kiss you and cuddle you. Maybe he does open up to you slowly when he feels more safe, like on longer walks or in the car or on a grocery shopping stroll. Maybe he calls you back even if he hates phone calls. Maybe he becomes a little bit softer and regulated, and that's when you see his true heart. Maybe over the years he's become a completely different person, even though on a day-to-day you don't see much of a change, and the needle did move and he did progress in conflict in the way he shows up for you. Maybe he actually shows up even when he's quiet. Maybe he works extra hard at work to provide and keeps you safe. Maybe he lets you into his world little by little. Maybe he comes with you to the pharmacy and makes sure you get the right medication. So again, all the relationships are so different. I want to choose your specific ways how he's actually showing up for you. And if it's not on the list, don't panic. Just pause and just journal and notice what your partner is doing for you or how he's showing up for you. Love languages are completely different for everyone. So these tiny things, that is also love, that is commitment, that is I love you in action. But your brain is scanning only for one channel of love right now. The words, the sentences, the reassurance, the verbal comfort. So right now you're missing everything else. And that makes sense because our brain only focuses on things we already believe in and discounts all the counter evidences. That's not a sentence, but hey, you know what I mean. So you need to actively, consciously, really focus on all of the other moments where love is already existing. And the third thing I want to share with you is silence doesn't mean distance. This is a huge part. When he stops saying I love you as much, your brain hears this means rejection. This is dangerous. It hears abandonment. It hears there's something wrong with me. But for many partners, it's actually the opposite. It can mean he feels comfortable, he feels stable, he feels secure in the relationship, he shows love through consistency, he's able to now pour into himself and then come back to you again. He's not withdrawing from you, he's just needing some space for himself and then is able to connect with you again. He's simply not speaking your love language every moment of every day, and that's okay. Because you are also not speaking his language, right? Different nervous systems, different wiring, different style. It's not a lack of love. And the fourth thing is your fear is part of you, not all of you. You're not crazy, you're not too much, you're not needy. You're someone whose heart was shaped by early moments where words mattered for safety, where reassurance signals connection, where silence really felt like loss. So now when your partner's words maybe slow down or maybe are very invalidating or hurtful, your nervous system really reacts like it's happening all over again back in your childhood. Like your nervous system is transported back when you were 3-year-old, 7-year-old, and you don't even maybe notice the exact memory, but you are there. You are like your inner child again, in pain, feeling invalidated, feeling scared, feeling uncertain of what's going to happen, feeling like you are not loved, you are overlooked. This is not a sign that you are unloved. It's a sign your system is triggered, your old wound is triggered, and it's much more about your past than about your present. It's much more about your parent and your caregiving and your environment back then than about your partner. And you can work on that to rewire that, to release old wounds, to release it and feel it, and to be more present with yourself. And eventually that will help you to create safety within yourself and within the relationship. And you can soothe it and you can shift it. And number 5 is ask yourself this instead. Not why isn't he saying that, but how is he showing it? Again, look at his actions, look at his energy, look at the consistency. That is much more important. Ask, does he care? Does he show up in his own way? Is he trying in his own way? And how does it look like over a bigger time frame? Because there's always periods and times when we're all stressed, we're all having our things to deal with. But the question is he showing up overall, big picture? Most partners show love through actions long before they're even saying any words, especially avoidance. Or they're much slower to open up to partners, even in a really long committed relationship. Yeah, I love you comes through presence and not through phrases. And number 6 is your fear is real, but it's not accurate. Your worry makes sense, but it's not the whole story. So you're reading his love through a lens of your own wound, through the filter. It's like if they stop saying it and I will be left, then that means there is something wrong with me. But what if you're not being left? What if you're actually loved? What if your relationship is stable? What if he's just loving you differently than your brain expects it to be? What if no matter what happens, you are worthy and lovable and you're so much stronger than you think you are? And number 7, here's the part I want you to hold on to. You are not hard to love. You are not asking for too much. You are not dramatic. You are not imagining things. You're someone who needs words and actions to feel safe. And that's okay. That's allowed. And when your partner shows love differently, it's not proof of distance. It's just proof of a different wiring. So you can express your needs, you can express your wishes and then detach from it. You can be very hyper-specific to your partner. The more expressive you are in a detached and grounded way to your partner, the more they're able to show up in your way as well. You don't want them to change their entire love language. It's impossible. However, it's possible that they're open to learn a little bit of a new language. It won't come automatic to them. If you need a little reassurance, a little affirmations, a little proof of their love, you can ask for it if you need it. But it will be so much more powerful if it comes from a regulated, grounded version of yourself. If you keep saying it every day and ask for your needs every day, then it will be more like a demand from a place of need you to say this versus of like a, hey babe, I feel a little bit anxious today, I feel a little bit on edge, and can you reassure me and soothe me a little. That is completely different than from like Do you even still love me? Like you never spend quality time with me. You're always on your phone. You don't even care about me. This is completely a different energy. So if you give your partner room and respect to talk about what you need in a grounded way, in a detached way, you will see how things can change. Not all the time, but over time. And key is actually you have to fill your own cup first. Your love language is words of affirmation. You have to give this to yourself first. Otherwise, you will never be able to truly feel loved within yourself. Imagine you have a core need, let's say of food, of water. If you don't feed yourself first, if you don't drink water yourself first, you will be hungry and you're starved. You can't expect your partner just to feed you, just to cook for you. Even if he gives you one dessert a day, one meal a day, it won't be enough to fill your need. You have to feed yourself consistently and let him just deliver your dessert. The same is true for love languages. Give yourself your love languages every day, consistently, and let him give you then the additional 10% as a cherry on top. This will be the ultimate way to feel fulfilled and loved and create a balanced relationship without insecurities, without fear, without overanalyzing and overreading into every single thing they do wrong. And lastly as well, you are actually the one who are not losing love, but you are learning a new language of love. You are learning your own to give yourself the validation and love and affirmation. And you're also learning his language. Not to just speak his language. You don't have to give the same action to him. Probably you're doing this already by overgiving, but you want to just be open for his. How is he showing up in the way right now to you? And just notice this is love, to see it, to feel it. And your fear doesn't get to decide the truth. You're safe and you're loved and your relationship isn't crumbling. Your nervous system is just a little bit louder today, and that's okay. If you're focusing on how your partner should love you, what he should say, how often he should reassure you and affirm you, you are not actually creating safety and you are actually losing your own self-confidence. You are always reinforcing the belief that someone else should make you feel safe, make you feel loved. And this is a very disempowering place. You're feeling your insecurity and you're making your wound louder. You're building doubt in the relationship that is already good, already kind of healthy, already fairly solid, just needing tiny improvements like any normal relationship does. But every time you obsess over what he should do, you're fueling your own fear of abandonment. You're deepening the belief of I am not good enough, and my partner's not good enough, and our relationship is not good enough. And the truth is, you don't want to change his love language. You want to change the way your nervous system sees love, because we can't change someone else's wiring. We can only change our own story. And a huge part of feeling loved is also learning to see how he already shows you love, not just through words and through the tiny daily things your brain usually misses when you're scared. If your cup is empty, no amount of reassurance will ever feel like you're enough. Your cup will be always empty. Empty cups can't receive. They leak, they spill, they panic. You can't pour safety into yourself while bullying yourself every day. You can't create self-confidence if your self-talk is brutal. You can't feel worthy if you greet your reflection every morning with criticism. So if your love language is affirmation, start with your words, start with how you speak to you. Because most people with anxious attachment, they talk to themselves in a way they would never talk to anyone else, right? If you spill a drink, you're going to tell yourself, I'm so stupid. If you look in the mirror, I'm not good enough. And then you're getting triggered. This is the real wound. This is the root. And this is why no amount of I love yous will ever feel good enough for you. It will never land truly. Because your partner can be amazing. You can meet Prince Charming tomorrow and you still feel never truly good enough. It will make and break you. On the most amazing days, you will feel special. And then if this will be taken away, it will be your most horrendous days of your lives. So it has to start with you, your beliefs, your self-talk, your patterns, your carb, your nervous system, your safety, your wounds, and your healing. And so if you want my support, I offer WhatsApp coaching for entry level or bi-weekly coaching as well for deeper work. I also have a huge coaching program if you're really ready to follow my steps from anxious to secure, which is like a locked in program. However, the other coaching offers are like a month-to-month basis. You can cancel any times, very flexible. So jump on a free call with me or email me to see which one is the right fit for you. If you're ready to invest in your future, in your self-worth, in your own security, I can guide you through this. Reach out to me. Remember, change in your relationship starts with you, thought by thought, action by action, and now episode by episode. Lots of love, Yula.